It's politics, but it's Georgia style, where the questions are pointed, the answers are quick, and the clock never blinks. The Loudermilk-Young Debate Series has become something of a tradition, a state tradition, a Southern showcase of ideas, zingers, and sometimes empty podiums. This year's lineup brings Atlanta's biggest races to the forefront, from City Hall to Public Service Commission. Joining us now to talk more about how high the stakes are, Maria Saporta, founder and executive editor of the Atlantic-centric publication SaportaReport. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Chelsea.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maria, you covered Georgia politics for decades. What makes the Loudermilk-Young Debate Series such a fixture in our state's political culture?
Well, I founded, along with some great political journalists back in the early 90s, we founded the debate series for the Atlanta Press Club in partnership with local public television stations. And we've been holding what I think are the premier debates ever since. And so we do all state offices, we do major elections locally. This is a local year, pretty much, and we had our debates yesterday. I don't know if I can say the date, but we had our debate, and we had debates. We had Public Service Commission, we had City Council President, and then the candidates for mayor. Without Mayor Dickens, he was not part of that, but he was represented by an empty podium.
Gotcha. You know, the series carries two iconic Atlanta names, Charlie Loudermilk and also Andrew Young. How these legacies shape the tone and the purpose of debates today?
Well, Charlie Loudermilk endowed the debate series. One of his closest friends in life was Andrew Young. And here you had a Black Democrat, political civic leader, and then you had Loudermilk, who was a Republican white business leader. And the fact that they were able to work together and have civic discourse, they getting the series to carry both of their names with their blessing. And that shows really how Atlanta can work together and cross over whatever political divides that we have, and also have real civic discourse.
Yeah. Looking ahead to this year's lineup, what races are you watching closely?
Well, the Public Service Commission is like the most important race that few people know about. There are two, and that's statewide. There are two statewide races, and including two Republican incumbents and two Democratic challengers. And then we did City Council President, which is a very feisty, rigorous challenge between Marcy Collier Overstreet and Rohit Malhotra. And that is definitely worth watching. And then we had your own Faith, Jesse, coming and moderating the mayoral debate, and she was wonderful. Yeah, we're really proud of what we've been able to do to give voters an opportunity to see what the choices are. And we're gearing up for next year. Next year will be a record debate year with 2026. We'll have U.S. Senator, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and all the state offices and several congressional seats that will be doing debates. And our last big year was 2020, and we had the debates with Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler, and then we had John Ossoff, and then David Perdue was represented by an empty podium. And that had just tremendous views. The Raphael Warnock Kelly Loeffler debate was simulcast on CNN, Fox News, C-SPAN. It was we had millions of people tuning in to the Loudermilk-Young Debate Series.
As someone who's chronicled Atlanta's civic life for decades, what do you hope the viewers will take away from this year's debate beyond just the headlines?
I think it's important for people to know who are the people running, and who are the people who are willing to stand up and answer questions from journalists. The saddest thing for me is when we have an empty podium, because I think voters need to know who's running, get a sense of how they act. One of the most important parts of our debate is when we have candidate-to-candidate questioning.
Yeah.
So that they can ask their opponent a question and then respond and to have a rebuttal period. But that tells you a lot about the character. And so when you have a debate with an empty podium, you don't get that kind of interaction. One of the big things we try and do is make sure everybody participates, because this is so important to our democratic, small d, democratic process of picking our the best of leaders to serve us.
All right. Maria, Saporta, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it and looking forward to the debate.
Thank you for having us.
All right, take care.
You.